So, there are many youngsters who now have this, that I want to have my own startup. Were there any specific books? Like, to be honest, I'll tell you about myself as well. That when I started my own organization, I'm like the first gen entrepreneur in my entire family. Like, my dad, my grandfather, none of them had their own business or profession. So, being a totally new person in this entire field, I was not sure about what are the do's and don'ts while you start up your own thing, right? So, in that case, did you read a few books which helped you to, help you as a startup guide in this entire journey?
Yeah, I mean, I've been reading books for a long time now, mostly nonfiction. Um, I've read many books on entrepreneurship. More, it started off with reading books on markets. But
Mm-hmm.
if you're asking me about startups, yeah, then my favorite book would be The Lean Startup.
Okay.
I love that book. Yeah, yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
it so happens that I read this much after I started the company. And
Okay.
some of the principles mentioned in the book, uh, we were doing from the get-go, and it gave me more confidence to pursue this path. So I think it's right around here somewhere. Oh, yeah, here it is.
Nice, nice. Could
Yeah,
you tell
this
just
is a
one or
lovely
two key
book.
points? Okay. Could you just tell one or two important points that you learned from that book?
Yeah, so the main principle of making a startup succeed is to be in touch with your users. And if you are in touch with your users, you know what to build. More often than not, large companies, companies with a lot of access to capital, they think they know what customers want. And that assumption is often a misconception. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't necessarily mean that just because there's a CEO who has years of experience knows what the customers really want, because the customers' needs keep evolving. So this book goes to tell you how to build effective products using a process called build, measure, learn feedback loop, right?
Mm-hmm.
So instead of the way you build products, so generally traditional companies build products in using a waterfall methodology, wherein they envision a product and then they plan the execution through and through, and it doesn't change midway. So
Okay.
we don't do it that way. We use the agile method of building products, because when you refine and add features on a product, um, I mean, as things evolve and you get feedback on these products on an ongoing basis, it is more likely that it is in tune with what people want.
Okay.
So the biggest takeaway from this book is the build, measure, learn feedback loop way of doing things, especially for product companies. There's also another book that I really like, Zero to One. It's written by Peter Thiel. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's an amazing read. Yeah.